Don't you, buddy? Huh, you ready to go do some dressaging? Yeah. Yeah, you are. You want your cookies.
Do you want ears?
Do I do him in ears?
I never remember, honestly.
I think he's fine. He doesn't need it. You're looking a little fluffy, but you're pretty cute. You're pretty cute, pony. So here is Wyeth, and we are at the first event of 2025. This is Majestic Oaks, and we are in the open training division. So coming down the center line, this ring is kind of interesting. It had like the most terrain in the ring, so there was kind of a little trench coming down the center line, so that actually helps you sometimes. But Y is pretty good in the dressage ring. He's very, very workmanlike. Sometimes he wants to get a little low, and so I have to kind of balance between that relaxation he wants to give me and trying to get him to kind of lift up and push through with the hind legs so I can get a little bit more expression. But was very good for the canter transition. And now I have a 20-meter circle here where I developed the lengthening in the canter. Something always to be mindful of too is, since it is grass and he is barefoot, you have to be a little supportive, but he's pretty good on his feet. So coming down to a trot transition here. Making sure I go into my corners. And this is a 20-meter circle, stretchy circle, but I seem to have forgotten how to do geometry in this circle. But we're all knocking a little bit of the rust off. I could have had a little bit more stretch, but you kind of have to take what they're willing to give you in the moment. So now we're doing our free walk on a long rein. They really want to see the horses drop their heads down. You want to see a big overstep. I could get a little bit bigger overstep, but again, it's kind of how much I can push to where he's comfortable. So making sure I can keep the walk here. We have to walk quite a ways to M, and then he was spooking a little bit at the letter C, had a little flower decoration on it, so he did a little leg yield. And picking up the trot. And now we have to do our kind of half 10-meter circle, teardrop back to the track. It's a lot easier on the little guy. I feel like I have a little bit more time than, say, when I'm on the bigger horses. But again, I need to work on getting a little bit more expression. He can put down a very solid workman-like test, but in order to be in the 20s to compete with the big guys, we gotta work on that, and he has it for sure. So again, lengthening canter. I could have maybe shown a little bit more change there, and every now and then he likes to get a little low, and then we just had a little bit of a trip there. Now coming into the final movement, we're going to cross the diagonal and develop a lengthened trot. And he's actually getting pretty good with these. It's starting to get there. That's actually the trot that I need to develop through the test, but he's getting there. He's getting a lot stronger. Overall, I was pretty happy with how good he was for his first one of the year. Little things to work on here and there, but he laid down a very nice, solid test. We scored a 33.9, so we have some room to kind of really get those scores up, but overall, I was really pleased with how relaxed he was, and he was a good boy. So on to show jump. I guess if I was to pick his weakest phase, it would be show jump, because when he gets a little spooky or a little peaky, he kind of wants to take me past the distance. So coming to this one, we give a little peek, and so a little sticky. So you'll see I might give just a little touch to say, hey, come on. Jumps the next jump really well. And then here I can feel him kind of grab the bit a little bit, and I'm trying to steady off of the distance, and so we have that rail. And then kind of the same thing is happening here to the next one. Again, just getting a little under it and a little past it. So I come to the corner and I say, hey, come on, get balanced. Now it walked in a long one for me. And again, when he's backed off, because he's smaller, it's gonna be that awkward stride. But I tried to kind of keep putting that stuff behind me. He jumped the next jump really well. And then we come to the Liverpool, got a good jump there. He's starting to listen. So again, another combination. And again, we take that front rail. So a little unfortunate, and I thought he did good with all the people coming in the ring to put the jumps up. So we're going to head to some more jumper shows to kind of build his confidence up, but it's well within him to be able to jump a clean round at the training level. The height isn't the issue, it's just getting him a little bit more relaxed. So on to cross country, in jumping the first fence. And on this course, optimum time was 5:26, I believe. So I was really happy with how his gallop was feeling. He was giving me a nice stride. And now coming to fence 2. And again, he kind of likes to kind of go to the fence, and then you have to be pretty stable in your body because he can kind of give a little bit of peek right when we get there. So again, it's just trying to stay stable for him, making sure I'm very constant and reliable in my body position. Coming to this fence, which was fence 3 and was a tricaner. And he was very good. He jumped that right out of stride, which was good for him because, again, sometimes he can kind of get up to that distance right underneath it. And fence 4 you can't really see, but it was in the shadows, and he did that really well. And now coming to the little bank complex. So I'm going to ask for him to kind of sit on his hocks a little bit here, land, keep my leg, and he did really nicely jumping that little chevron. And now heading to the white rails, which can be a little impressive to them sometimes, but we got a really good shot. He jumped that really nicely. Making our way. I'm really happy with his pace so far. With him being a little bit smaller and can be on the smaller strided side, I really try to make sure I am efficient with my lines. So making sure I don't want to be hanging out on the outside line. So I try to do nice, tidy, and inside turns. So heading to the coffin here. And he's very good about the ditches and very good about the baby corner coming out. Now heading around to this little house. Again, he's pretty fun once we get into that nice rhythm, starting to figure it out. So now we head to the ditch and wall. And this is his first time jumping this type of ditch and wall. So I'm just going to stay back, stay supportive. We're coming in a little bit to an awkward jump, but he did that really well, even though it was a little three-legged kind of bunny hop, but didn't lose any confidence there. And jumped the shark's tooth. It's funny, I remember how spooky he used to be about the shark's teeth. Now it's not a problem. Now coming to the water complex, I had an idea to, when I jumped out of the chevron coming out, I was going to do an inside turn inside the modified fence, just again to kind of save up on a little bit of time. However, he kind of locked onto the modified. You'll see here, I kind of go, oh, whoop, never mind, because I couldn't make that inside turn, and I didn't want him to get confused. So I just went outside. And again, on the helmet cam, you can kind of see a little bit more how he went, oh, that one. So I appreciated how he was game to lock on. And now heading down to nearing the end of the course. We have 2 roll tops that are set on a slight angle that walked in a 4-stride. So I'm taking my time here to get him lined up. And he actually left one out there and did the 4-stride. And so I was pretty pleased with that, the fact that we were able to march on down and do the horse stride, and that he was feeling pretty confident in himself. So heading now to the last jump, and we're pretty up on time. So like I said, optimum time that we needed to come under was 5:26 to not have time faults, and we came in at 5:01. I was super pleased with how efficient we were around the course and really happy with Wyeth this weekend.